What is up, guys? It is Jed Wrestling here, back again with another video. And last week I promised that a Q&A video will be coming soon, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. You can sort of consider this like a 1 year anniversary video because that was sort of what I had planned, and then I didn't really announce it or anything. I don't really know why, but it's coming now. Here is the Q&A video. You guys came out with some pretty good questions, quite a decent amount of questions as well. So we are going to get right into it. First, with who would you put each title on in WWE? Now, for this question, I'm only going to be looking at the main roster titles, and if I like where the title is now, I'm just going to say I'll keep the title on that person. First, the undisputed WWE Championship, I would keep it on John Cena. I don't think there's anything wrong with John Cena as champion, and I don't personally think he should lose the title to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, but I think that's what is going to happen. World Heavyweight Championship, I would put that on Seth Rollins, and he could also cash in at SummerSlam. Be sure to stay tuned for my prediction video coming either later today or early tomorrow. I definitely want to talk about SummerSlam a little bit. The Intercontinental Championship, I would put on AJ Styles. The United States Championship, I would probably put on Carmelo Hayes. I feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he'd be a really solid United States champion. Women's World Championship, I would keep on Naomi. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Women's Championship over on SmackDown, I would honestly give to Alexa Bliss. I think she has one more. She probably has a lot of good reigns left in her. Actually, she's still young in the grand scheme of things, and she's already an established main eventer. She has been for like almost a decade at this point. So definitely Alexa Bliss deserves some more world titles. The World Tag Team Championships over on Raw, I honestly don't know. I mean, there's a lot of teams on Raw, but they mostly don't really get used a whole lot. I'm just gonna put it out there and say that the Creed brothers could be good World Tag Team Champions. And finally, for the WWE Tag Team Championships, it's not much of a contest. I think Motor City Machine Guns should get the WWE Tag Team Championships. They're like one of my favorite tag teams, and it would be really cool to see them win at SummerSlam, but I don't think that's likely. What is your favorite video game of all time? Now, I have a couple WWE video games, and they're all on the Wii console system. If you guys remember the Wii, they don't produce it anymore, but it used to have some WWE video games on it, like WWE 12, WWE 13, and pretty much all of the SmackDown versus Raw installments from 2008 all the way up to 2011. And my favorite video game that I own from that is right here, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. This is of course on the Wii, like I said, and it's a really good game. I feel like these are some of the best graphics that we saw in the SmackDown vs. Raw series. One of the best rosters, some of the most exciting gameplay. I really like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. I'm not as much of a gamer as I used to be, but whenever I do play some games, it is mostly SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, and I would like to find a way to play this game like on YouTube someday. I think that would be really cool. What is your dream match for Hulk Hogan? Now, the person who said this was Ultra Carterzilla, and later on in his comment, he did put that he wishes Hogan versus Cena would have happened at WrestleMania 25, and that is a really good choice. That possibly would have been my choice, but I wanted to have something a little different. So I probably would go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. The word was in 2002 or 3. They were planning a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Hulk Hogan match, but it never materialized. I feel like that match would have been pretty similar to Hogan versus Rock at WrestleMania 18, but it also would have been really, really good. Hogan versus Austin, the king of the 80s versus the king of the 90s. I feel like that would have been really awesome. But now, when Hulk Hogan retired, Stone Cold Steve Austin was sort of retired as well. So that match never, unfortunately, happened. Bryce H. Wrestling coming in with what is your favorite pet? No, this is probably the most personal question that we got here. And I've always loved dogs. Like the only pets that I've ever really had have been dogs. We did have a couple fish back in the day, but those were more so my mom's that she would take care of those. I never really did much with the fish, but I've always loved dogs. They used to sleep in my room. We had like 3 dogs at one stage. It was a lot of fun. These days we have 2 dogs, a big dog and a little dog. Neither of them have appeared on my YouTube channel, of course. Maybe that'll appear. The big one is 10, and the little one is 2. We just got her a couple years ago. But yeah, my favorite pet is definitely a dog. Who deserves a push right now in WWE? I was sort of talking about this earlier when I was talking about who deserves the United States Championship. But obviously, Carmelo Hayes, I think he's the one who deserves the push most right now. Although the WWE roster is absolutely stacked, there's a lot of people that I feel like could get more of a push from people like Penta to people like, I don't know, like Andrade, Ray Phoenix, like Aleister Black. The roster is so awesome right now. Sheamus, like, I feel like they should give Sheamus an Intercontinental title run. But as far as who deserves a major push right now, I'd have to go with Carmelo Hayes. Melo don't miss, bro. Favorite person to hear cut a promo. Now, these days, I don't think this person is as good on the microphone as he used to be. That's just my hot take. But my favorite person to hear cut a promo as far as back in the day is the best in the world, CM Punk. He's got so many iconic promos from the pipe bomb to his promos with The Rock to some of his promos with John Cena. They were absolutely legendary. And yeah, CM Punk is arguably still really good on the microphone. He has some dud promos here and there, but as far as like 2011 up to like 2014 CM Punk, that was like peak CM Punk on the microphone. It was absolutely awesome. He would captivate you with every promo. And don't get me wrong, in his second WWE run, he's had quite a few good promos, but I don't know. I just don't get the same feeling with CM Punk's promos as I used to get back in like 2011. What is the best and worst figure in your opinion? My favorite figure in my collection, there's a couple that come to mind. I really love the new Elite 117 Seth Rollins. You can faintly see that on my new Seth Rollins shelf that I'm working on. But by the way, I know my shelf area is kind of trash right now, but I'm just working on a new shelf. I'll definitely make a new updated look at it when I'm finished. But yes, Seth Rollins Elite 117 is really good. I like the Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes. I like the Ultimate Edition CM Punk. But at the end of the day, I'd probably have to go with the Elite 114 Jey Uso Chase. At this stage, that's my favorite figure in my collection. There is some freaking amazing figures that they announced at SDCC, though. I'll definitely be copping the Ultimate Edition AJ Styles. Definitely going to be copping the Defining Moments Penta. Probably the new Raw Netflix Ultimate Seth Rollins as well. That's an entire I've wanted. As far as worst figure in my collection, I'm actually going to grab it. It is the signature series basic Dean Ambrose. Look at that face, dude. This face looks like it's just melting. I don't know. The jeans I always thought were a little too big. The torso's a little small. And I don't know. I just feel like this figure is short compared to how Dean Ambrose was in real life. And I don't know, dude. This is probably just my least favorite figure in my collection. It does bring back some nostalgia value, playing with this as a kid. But looking at it now, it's just like, oh, dude, they could have done a lot better with this Dean Ambrose, and there's definitely a lot of Ambrose figures that are better than this. What match are you most looking forward to at SummerSlam? Now, I think a lot of a lot of the matches that are on the SummerSlam card this year are rematches. Just with a little more stipulation attached to them. Like we've seen Cena and Cody, obviously WrestleMania 41. We've seen pretty much the same triple threat match that we're going to be getting Rhea and Io. They're subbing out Bianca Belair with Naomi. We've seen Solo and Jacob. We've seen Dominic and AJ. But as far as the match I'm looking forward to most, it was announced last Friday on SmackDown, and it is that huge TLC match. Mark my words, that match is going to be absolute chaos. It's gonna bring me back memories of the TLC trilogy with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian. It's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to that. It could very well steal the entire weekend. Mark my words. What is your favorite WWE match and favorite match that you've animated? My favorite WWE match of all time, I've said it a couple times. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell 2022. I was watching that match live. Well, I wasn't in the arena, but I was watching it live from my television, and I was just in awe the entire time that match was taking place. Cody revealing the torn pec to the audience, fighting through the pain to defeat Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. That's the moment where he got like super over as a babyface. It was really awesome to watch live. And as far as as matches I have not watched live, I do really love Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. I like John Cena and CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011. I like Hogan versus Rock WrestleMania 18. There's been a lot of great matches, but my favorite is probably Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. As for my favorite match that I've animated, it could be Kevin Owens, Chad Gable, and Sheamus, the new triple threat match that I just dropped less than a week ago for the Intercontinental Championship at Maximum Carnage. I was pretty proud of that match. I thought I had a lot of different spots in mind, and I feel like they all came out pretty well. There were a lot of moments where I was like just stalling and not working on it too much. But yeah, it definitely was worth it, and I'm pretty proud of that match. It could be my favorite match that I've animated. Match, of course. Let's do that again. Best and worst wrestler of all time. The best wrestler of all time isn't much of a contest for me. I love Randy Orton. I love his charisma. I love his moveset. I just love everything about Randy Orton, dude. The RKO out of nowhere, giving us so many iconic moments in WWE, like the curb stomp into the RKO, the Evan Bourne shooting star press into the RKO, all the crazy RKOs over the years. Randy Orton is absolutely awesome. As for the worst wrestler of all time, I really don't know, dude. I'm not very much like, oh, this guy is horrible in the ring. This guy can't do nothing. He's horrible on the microphone. I just try to appreciate wrestlers for what they're good at. But as far as someone I don't really like right now, it's JC Mateo, dude. Like, I don't know. JC Mateo is so boring. I don't know. I don't really know what it is about him. I don't really like JC Mateo that much. He's of course part of the MFTs with Solo, Talatanga, and Tangaloa. And I don't know, I just don't like JC Mateo. Favorite time period of WWE, probably 2014, right around WrestleMania 30 to 2016, pre-brand split. That time was just so awesome, dude. You had the Authority coming out every week doing some stuff. You had the Shield disbanding, Seth Rollins going off on his own. You had Roman Reigns sort of building himself a little bit. You still had people like The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Kane, and Big Show. People who are sort of about to retire within the next couple years. That era was just really awesome, dude. You could make a case for 2016 SmackDown. That was also a really awesome time, but it didn't last as long, or I feel like have as much of an effect as the 2014 to 2016 time. I feel like people just say 2016 SmackDown because of like the match quality, because AJ Styles, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, they were all pumping out these insane matches. But as far as like the moments, like at the time, I was more so watching wrestling for the moments and the shock factors rather than actual in-ring ability. And as for that, I gotta go with 2014 and 2016. Best and worst finisher. Once again, I keep talking about him. Randy Orton, the RKO. I love the RKO, dude. I listed all the reasons why I love it originally. It's my favorite finisher of all time. The worst finisher of all time. I don't want to say something like the People's Elbow or the Worm or the Cobra, because yes, those weren't impactful finishers whatsoever, but the crowd were into them. The crowd, I had like the crowd participation and everything. So I guess I can't really say any of those. But as for the least impactful finisher, I got to go with the rear view. I'm glad that Naomi doesn't use that anymore. I can't really pinpoint what Naomi's finisher is right now, but it's not the rear view, and that's definitely a welcome change because seeing people get put away with the rear view, that was kind of a joke. And the final question for the day. Favorite PLE slash pay-per-view. It's between two. It's between either WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble. Both have this signature energy about them where you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Who's gonna show up? Stuff like that. But I feel like what brings more of that energy is the Royal Rumble. I do, at the end of the day, like the Royal Rumble better than WrestleMania. It is my most anticipated event of the year, as I've detailed in the past. So yeah, I gotta say the Royal Rumble. It's just more exciting, dude. Especially now when you have two Royal Rumbles with the women's and the men's. Just makes it twice as exciting, which is absolutely awesome. But yes, that's pretty much it for my Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun going through the comments and thinking of answers and all that. This was a really fun video to make, and it's definitely something that I could potentially do again down the line if my audience grows a little bit more. But yes, I hope you guys had fun watching this video. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I would really appreciate it if you were to smash a like on this video and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. But yes, Jed Wrestling out.